Asiam Nisiaya. My name is Sal Aquilano. My English name is Wade Grant. And today I want to acknowledge that we're standing on the traditional territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nation. And we welcome you today. It's not lost on me that I stand here not far from where my ancestors greeted the first explorers to British Columbia, Captain Narvaez, and later Captain George Vancouver. Today, I'm here in a spirit of reconciliation. For many years, the voices of Indigenous people fell silent across this land. Today, I'm very excited to be standing here welcoming you on behalf of my people, Indigenous people across British Columbia, and most importantly, my children and future generations. I want to thank you for listening to me today, and I look forward to working with all British Columbians, talking, walking, and working together in the spirit of reconciliation. Haitsaka Siam Nisiaya.
Thank you, Wade. Well, today is an exciting moment for the BC Liberal Party, the one that will chart a new path for our party, our province, and the kind of future we want for our children. Building that future is going to take big ideas, but it is also going to require our party to make some big changes. As an immigrant, a mother of 2 young daughters, and a lawyer, I want our party to reflect the British Columbia that we all want: inclusive, tolerant, bold, and ready to lead. We've done that before. Our party has made British Columbia a leader, whether it was on economy or on environment, and we will do it again. There are new issues that need new ideas, but principled, people-driven focus will deliver new successes once again. In my view, there is only one leader in the moment that can deliver that change. And that's why I'm very proud to say that I am supporting Kevin Falcon to be the next leader of the BC Liberal Party. Kevin is someone who understands the challenges that British Columbians face today, and he brings the passion and the experience to be able to deliver a renewed BC Liberal Party and a stronger BC. So let's get started. And now I'm very pleased to introduce my friend, a pioneer for women in BC politics, and my fellow co-chair, Diane Watts.
Thank you very much, Puneet. It gives me great pleasure to be here today as we launch a new chapter for the BC Liberal Party with my longtime friend, Kevin Falcon. And I've known Kevin for 25 years, and during that time, I have seen him in a variety of different roles, from a campaign manager, a senior minister, deputy premier, CEO in the private sector, a husband and father of 2 beautiful daughters, and now as a candidate for the BC Liberal Party. And over those years, I have seen Kevin evolve and change into the person that he is today. I would, however, like to highlight some of the important work and collaboration that we did during my tenure as the mayor for the city of Surrey. One of the most important initiatives that I wanted to come to fruition was the Mental Health and Addictions Precinct that was right adjacent to Surrey Memorial Hospital, and in particular, our Sobering Centre. And I have no doubt in my mind that that project would not have been built had it not been for the drive and the determination of Kevin when he was Minister of Health. He intervened on several occasions, and he ensured that that project was going to be built. And it was through his tenacity and understanding of what important resources these were for the city of Surrey and for our residents. And whether it was mental health, affordable housing, transportation, Kevin was there to listen. And that's not to say that we always agreed, because most certainly we did not. But it is to say that I really appreciated his integrity, his honesty, and the vast experience that he brought to the table. Today, we need a leader with all of those qualities, along with a can-do attitude and a wholesome understanding of women's issues, which are really near and dear to my heart. And I know his wife and 2 daughters will ensure that that remains at the forefront in everything that he does. So, my friends, a new chapter for the BC Liberal Party is about to begin today. One that engages, one that listens, and one that leads with great ideas. And it is a pleasure to introduce the next leader of the BC Liberal Party, Kevin Falcon. But first, we're going to watch a short video of Kevin and his family.
These two.
Which two?
E and G.
E and G?
Yeah. D, D, E, G, E. No. So
You said
play,
those two, didn't you?
Yeah, but when you play C. Oh, wait, no, that was not it.
I never set out to be a professional politician, which is why I stepped down 8 years ago to return to the private sector. And since that time, there have been other big changes in my life. Being a father has shaped my outlook, especially in terms of how I look at the future. I want my kids to have the same opportunities I did. I'm returning to public life for that reason, for my own kids and for kids right across this province. I grew up with 5 brothers and my parents in a 4-bedroom home my parents bought in West Van in 1963. My dad ran a small business and my mom was a nurse at St. Paul's Hospital. My brothers and I were very fortunate to get free tuition for high school at Vancouver College. The Catholic high school offered financial help for low-income families like ours, and I remain enormously grateful for that support. I paid my way through SFU with a combination of student loans and working graveyard shifts at C-SPAN shipyards in North Vancouver. I have a deep appreciation for our public healthcare system. My brother Greg lost his life at age 25 in an awful accident. My father suffered for many years with a degenerative disease, and I'll never forget the care he received. Without our healthcare system, our family would never have had the resources to care for him. It's why I'll always defend a publicly funded, universal healthcare system, but I will also demand that we challenge the system to provide better, more efficient services for British Columbians. As Minister of Transportation, I oversaw billions of dollars of major projects, including the Port Mann Bridge, the Kicking Horse Canyon, Sea to Sky Highway, and South Fraser Perimeter Road, all of which were delivered on time and on budget. I want BC's economy to lead Canada's economic recovery, but with a special focus on women and minorities who have borne the brunt of the economic downturn. But that's only going to happen with a leader who hasn't spent their entire lives in politics, or who has little track record to speak of. You know, against the background of COVID and all the big challenges we face in the future, there is an understandable loss of confidence in politicians who rarely, candidly, and honestly talk about the problems we face. We need competence and principled leadership that actually acts on the issues that are facing our province. Together as BC Liberals, we can accomplish so much more. And now, it's time to grow our coalition and ensure we are welcoming all those who share our belief that government has a responsibility to deliver cost-effective results, encouraging a growing private sector economy. That means embracing support from all British Columbians, regardless of background, ensuring our party and our candidates reflect the communities we live in. I left politics almost a decade ago to spend more time with my wife Jessica and daughters Josephine and Rose. Today, I'm returning because I want to secure a better future for my daughters, for you and your families, and for British Columbia. It's time. Let's go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. And thank you, Wade, Paneet, and Diane, for that very kind introduction. Many of you know me, although I've been out of politics for nearly a decade now. My name is Kevin Falcon, and I'm running to be the next leader of the BC Liberal Party. I've called British Columbia my home for my entire life. Growing up, my mom was a nurse and my dad worked in a small business, raising 6 boys. And I'm joined today by my wife Jessica and our 2 lively little girls, Josephine, who's 11, and Rose, who's 8. They motivate me every single day to be a better father and a better citizen. And I've loved this province for as long as I can remember. And that's why years ago, I decided to get involved in public life to help make BC even better. I was elected MLA for the riding of Surrey-Cloverdale in 2001, and I was re-elected twice more. For more than a decade, I held a number of cabinet roles and delivered real results for folks right across this great province. As a party and as a government, we got most things right. Not everything, mind you, but most things. We introduced North America's first ever revenue-neutral carbon tax. We restored BC's economy to the strongest in the country after a decade of NDP mismanagement and steered our province successfully through the global financial crisis. We supported businesses like never before, eliminating red tape and making it easier to invest and create jobs in BC. And we delivered the largest infrastructure program in our province's history. Under my watch, we built projects like the William Bennett Bridge, the Canada Line, the Port Mann Bridge, the Cancer Centre in Prince George, just to name a few. And throughout my time in government, my approach was very straightforward. Identify the problem and fix it. Don't waste time, just listen, act, and deliver. And for that reason, I can look back on my time in government with pride at what we were able to accomplish for the people of BC. And in 2013, I left politics for the private sector. I was ready to spend more time with my young and growing family. I now work at an investment firm involved in areas as varied as real estate, technology, and even craft beer. As a leader in both government and the private sector, my experience has given me a unique perspective on the challenges we face today. Over these past few years, I've watched the direction our province is going in, and this much is really clear. At a time when we need competence more than ever, the NDP is the wrong choice for British Columbia. They talk about affordability, and yet in a few short years, they've raised or introduced 23 different taxes. Housing prices for middle-class families are through the roof. And the NDP has built a tiny fraction of the 114,000 affordable homes they promised to build. There is no way that they'll get even close to delivering what they promised for British Columbians. But that's the NDP way. They make all these big promises and they severely under-deliver. But it's not just their incompetence that has failed the people of this province. Last fall, they cynically called an election in the middle of a global pandemic, despite the fixed election dates brought in by BC Liberals to eliminate exactly this kind of politicking. And while COVID numbers were shooting up, the NDP were out on the campaign trail, needlessly putting British Columbians at risk. And recently, we faced some of the highest COVID numbers we've ever seen. And there's been zero transparency and zero accountability for the NDP's uneven at best handling of this crisis. As a former health minister and finance minister myself, I know that this pandemic isn't just a health problem or an economic problem. It's actually both. As we chart a new course for the future, we must be honest in our assessment of what ails us, our party, the BC Liberal Party. We've lost our way, and recent elections bear that out. We've lost voters from the centre to the NDP, and voters from the right have sat at home. If we want to be relevant, we need to course correct and do so fast. And I believe that we need a return to principled politics, not transactional, short-term decision-making, but principles-driven long-term solutions that clearly reflect who we are and what we believe in. That's the key to success for our party. When we stick to our principles, we win elections. The BC Liberal Party I know believes in talking honestly with the people we serve. No virtue signaling, just candor. So let's get back to principled leadership. There is no doubt in my mind that this party can and will emerge stronger than ever, but we have a lot of work to do. And that includes a root to branch rebuild that re-energizes our existing base of supporters while aggressively recruiting new, highly competent, diverse members and candidates. I believe that our renewal demands a new party name, one that will be decided upon in consultation with our own membership. And I want to be very, very clear about something. A BC Liberal Party under my leadership will welcome people of every background into our big tent. British Columbians of all races, sexualities, genders, socioeconomic background are going to be embraced and welcomed as part of the big BC Liberal Party. Because a party with a diversity of backgrounds is a better and stronger party, and there will be zero room for intolerance under a Kevin Falcon leadership. That is the party I promise and commit to lead. Folks, we have some big challenges ahead of us. British Columbians need a competent leader during these uncertain times. And our party needs someone with experience who can hit the ground running on day one. Those who know me know that I'm a builder, both inside government and out. I have a reputation for getting things done, and I'm not afraid to make hard choices. I make them every day. And while I won't pretend to have all the answers, I'll be the first to ask the tough questions that need to get asked. I loved being an MLA, and I know that our path back to government includes winning exactly the kind of riding that I represented for 12 years in Surrey-Cloverdale. That riding, by the way, is now held by the NDP, and I want it back, and I want all the other Lower Mainland seats back, and we're going to earn that support from British Columbians, including on Vancouver Island. I have big ideas on how we're going to get British Columbia firing on all cylinders, and I'm ready to lead. I look forward to laying out my vision for BC over the coming months, from regaining our leadership on climate change to supporting our most vulnerable to delivering on big projects that create jobs and grow the economy. I'm asking you to join me as we rebuild, first our party, then our province. And I'll hold the NDP to account every single day. And I will fight tirelessly for my family and for yours, for a better future, for a better BC. The hard work starts now. Let's go.